What's up, Ginger Cornets? So it happened. Go finally caught a legendary. And honestly, I'm alright with that. So for those who haven't seen the episode, or somehow have not heard the news, yeah, Go actually managed to catch a Suicune. Too bad it was spoiled in last week's preview. Overall, the community reaction has been mixed. Definitely seems to be leaning towards the positive side, but there's still a valid argument for both. On the one hand, Go's dream is to catch every Pokemon, so a legendary capture was bound to happen at some point. I mean, Suicune is a Pokemon after all, I think. But on the other hand, many feel this sort of devalues the concept of a legendary Pokemon. You see, back in the old days, legendary Pokemon were typically displayed as ultimate creatures with extraordinary powers, not some dog that can barely fight off a group of generic hunters. Yeah, Pokemon Journeys is sort of nerfing legendary Pokemon, but I don't think it's quite as drastic as many make it out to be. The obvious example we can jump to is Zapdos. Go nearly caught it, and while Ash on Team Rocket helped out a little, it was mostly his Raboot and Flygon that did all the work. Now, if this had been the monstrous Zapdos we saw in the second movie, that likely would have been a different story. However, some legendaries are just canonically stronger than others. Now, if there's one thing I hate, it's when people use the Pokemon games as justification for how the anime should be. To those people, I say look up the definition of adaptation. However, the games are still the anime's main source material, so in a case like this, they are at least worth considering. In the games, Suicune, as well as Zapdos for that matter, has a base stat total of 580, lower than many non-legendary Pokemon. Now let's compare this to a pretty standard legendary Pokemon. Say, Lugia, who we know from the second movie is at least stronger than Zapdos in the anime canon. Granted, the anime often has multiples of legendary Pokemon, but the point still remains. Lugia has a base stat total of 680, 100 more than the other legendaries we looked at, not to mention being banned in most official VGC formats. Even in Journeys, we see Lugia just tank a bunch of hits, like it's nothing. Again, take this with a grain of salt, since the games and anime are completely separate, but there's certainly tiers when it comes to being legendary. Now, the last thing I'd like to mention is the unusual ending. Go tried to release Suicune, as it did have a role in nature to purify polluted water, yet Suicune refused to leave, but then it did. So like, I guess Go still owns it, but it's just off doing its own thing. And yeah, I get why the writers didn't want him to just have Suicune at all times. But hey, it'll probably come back. Eventually. At least hopefully. How do you guys feel about Suicune's capture? I'd like to hear some more opinions on it. It's been a while since I've done one of these... what are these called? Episode... I don't want to say review? Are they episode analysis? Analyses? That's probably not the right word either. It doesn't matter. The video's over. So yeah, see you later, Gator Taters.